Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boys from Reactions here, back with another video, and today we are going to be discussing about the Toronto Maple Leafs and how they're doing.
The season
is over,
and we will not have
tailgates. But that's fine. That's fine. We need a tank. We needed a tank.
Maybe this year was a wake-up call that management needs to go, which it has, and change not just Marner, everything. Big changes across all of management are required, and maybe that was what was the intention of the hockey gods this season, was to make that call, and now maybe next year it'll be a completely different look, and I'm excited for it. But let's get through the last 3 games and where we sit ahead of the draft lottery.
So
here we go. So we had a crucial loss on Saturday.
Yes.
A must
6-2.
Must lose.
6-2 loss.
Great.
Then we lost to Dallas, which I thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to win, and unfortunately we didn't, which is great.
Fashion blew a 3-0
lead and then a 5-3 lead.
Even when we're tanking, we still find a way to do classic leads.
6-5 against Dallas, lost. Then we lost finally. Game 82. We needed to lose to keep our spot,
Look at
and
this.
we did.
We didn't win a single game in April. Not one. We haven't won a game since March 30th in overtime.
And they shouldn't have won that.
And there was like 3 wins in a matter of a week almost. That shouldn't have happened. Now, and I'll get to why that shouldn't have happened in a second here. So, looking at the standings, we finished exactly at 5th, which is good, but not great. And we could have had a guaranteed top 5 protected pick had we had one less point in the standings, because the Flames and the Rangers won their last game. They both tied at 77 points. Where do the Leafs sit? 78 points in 5th. Had we had 77 points, we would have had a worse record because Calgary and New York have more regulation wins. We would have been in 3rd. Guaranteeing our top 5 pick. We would not. It would have been impossible for us to drop down, and therefore we would have been safe. And then we would have either got 1st, 2nd, or 3rd.
Now we're here hyperventilating over the fact that most people in the 5th worst record has dropped to 6th or 7th in the draft. We just need one person to hop over us, or hop anyone in the draft in the bottom 5, and we lose our pick.
And it goes to a team in playoffs right now.
It goes to Boston. They get to pick high in the draft. And if that worst case scenario happens, they have to prepare for something.
It's not like we traded with someone like Edmonton.
They traded in division.
And it was a Western team who we face twice a year, and we would never face in the playoffs until the Stanley Cup final. So at the end of the day, if we lost the pick to them, who cares? Same division, not even same conference, same division. Long-time, century rivals of the entire history of the National Hockey League.
Boston is hoping history repeats itself, and we're hoping that history doesn't repeat itself, and we get our pick.
We have a 45%, just under 45% chance of getting our pick. The odds were, I believe, around 8% to pick 1st or 2nd. next to nothing to pick third or fourth, so like under 1% to pick third or fourth. And I believe it was about 25-ish% to pick fifth.
Knowing the Leafs' luck, knowing how they've been so lucky
and
over the past
60% chance to pick below 6th or below.
Knowing how the Leafs have so much luck in their organization,
Right.
I bet you they're gonna fall to 6th.
No.
I am preparing. I am mentally preparing myself.
I will be
to
surprised
pick
if we do keep our
6th.
pick. That's how we feel right now.
I am mentally preparing myself for the defeat and the face of just
And
agony.
we could regret having won one game in regulation or losing a game in overtime. Or sorry, losing a game in overtime.
That
Had we lost
Anaheim win. That Anaheim win.
point.
That Anaheim win looks not great.
I'm not trying to panic right now.
Because look, I don't give a shit. I was on Team Tank right after the trade deadline. Right after they decided, you know what, we're not gonna. After they lost a few games, I'm like, you know what, it's time to hang up the boots. We're not going to compete. And we gotta make a decision. I was like, at the trade deadline, they have to make a decision. At the Olympic break. When it was the Olympic break, I was like, they have to make a decision.
It seemed like
what do they want to do?
They had no idea what they were doing. Keith Pelly said, "No, we're gonna try and make the playoffs."
They had a chance. They had a chance to make the playoffs because we were a couple points out of a playoff spot, or they had a chance to just call it a season and let's tank it. But they made the decision in the middle to keep going, keep winning some games, and keep losing some games.
I don't know why
and
they did that.
No team tank. And this is what I want to get to.
You know, had we lost even a few more games, we could have been second because Chicago has 72. There's only 5 points, well, 6 points right now, but had we been in with Calgary under Calgary, New York, it would have been a 5-point difference. That's not that much of a difference.
It's so sad.
So I really hope that we don't come to regret not getting one extra point. Sorry, I hope we don't come to regret getting one extra point this year.
Because now we're stuck.
Because if we end up, let's say this hypothetical situation where had we had this one less point, we would have guaranteed our top 5 pick, picked in the top 3, a very good prospect who can turn into a Matthew Nyes or better, you never know, an Easton Cowan, a Fraser Minton, you don't know. And instead, we fall to 6th now, and then it goes to Boston. Boston gets a top 10 player, and then we face them in the playoffs in years to come and lose to them, probably to that guy that they picked in this draft.
We just gotta
That
hope.
would be the leafiest situation ever.
We just gotta hope. We just gotta hope that everything goes normal. Everything goes to plan.
I'm spitballing, but I'm knocking on wood that we get that top 5 pick, and at least we could salvage some sort of happiness from this misery of a season.
I'm praying to the hockey gods.
It is set in 3 weeks for May 5th. Just under 3 weeks. May 5th, Tuesday night.
And we will
see. Our fate will be lying on that day when they pull the balls out of the machine.
I'm so nervous.
And
pick
them live. And we are going to record our reactions, and then we're going to make a video of it so you can see us reacting to who gets the top 5 picks and where we land.
Nervous.
We will be reacting to that
because it's so nerve-wracking.
I'm tense.
I remember the 2020 draft. I remember that 2020 draft where we were just a little bit of a smidge in the draft. Remember that ball? That ball that the Leafs went? It went up and then it came back down and New York went up. It went up just before it was about to leave the section. It was about to leave out the chute. It came back down. New York went up, and there you go. That is the Leafs' luck. That is the Leafs' luck right there.
Anything can happen.
If you want a demonstration of how unlucky the Leafs are, go watch the 2020 draft lottery pick. Go see how that worked out for them. In 2020, the ball of the Toronto Maple Leafs went up, almost came out the chute, but said no thanks very much, and New York came and stole it. I mean,
and Here's something that's interesting and something might be good for the portal here. As I was digging to see when the NHL draft date and time were to remind myself, I came across the NHL article from a few months back when they said that the draft would be June 26th, 27th, for all the rounds, and the time. And then in the article, it said it will be held at KeyBank Center in Buffalo. The last time an NHL draft has been held at KeyBank Center in Buffalo was 2016 when the Leafs selected Matthews first overall. It's been 10 years. I was like, is this a sign? Could a miracle happen and we get first? It's not impossible. You saw what happened last year. New York moved up almost 10 spots to first? How? Anything can happen. It's all just a lottery. It's a lottery for a reason.
It's a luck. It's a luck. And unfortunately, the Toronto Maple Leafs don't have luck. But I'm hoping, I'm praying that everything goes to plan and we get our pick back. Because, my God, I cannot sleep at night knowing the fact that we could drop 2 spots and the Boston Bruins could either pick 6th or 7th. And that would crush my dreams of ever being... And I want, if that thing happens, God forbid, if that thing happens, I want everyone to be gone from this organization. I don't want a single person on this organization ever again. I want everyone disappeared into the atmosphere because this is not going to happen. You better get in the top 5 pick. You better get your pick back because otherwise we want everyone's head on a platter. We want everyone gone from this organization and we want to start fresh.
So we're going to do a draft simulation here. We're on Tankathon. We're going to sim it. We're going to sim it 5 times. We're going to see what happens.
First
sim.
Seattle Kraken. And we move up to
and we get second pick. Ivar Stenberg.
We got second pick in the draft, which is great.
So we're going to Vancouver falls to third.
But
we're going to refresh. Sim again. The first pick goes to Chicago.
And we lose.
Fall to 6.
6. That's the worst one of them all.
Okay, so we're 1-1. We're going to do this again.
1-1.
Chicago.
And we stay in
fall to 6. So we're 1-2. Seattle and Leafs fall to 7. Okay, we're 1-3. New York picks first.
There we go.
Leafs get 5. So after simming it 10 times, we got our top 5 pick 3 out of the 10 times, and the 7 other times we fell to 6th or 7th.
Because it really isn't a game of inches. If nothing goes to plan, if one team.
Okay, I just did it again and we picked 5th. So picking 3rd or 4th is
it's a coin flop.
It's literally we're probably either gonna get 2nd or 5th. Or 1st, 2nd, or 5th. Those are the only 3 that
we either get 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
3rd or
6th
4th are next to nothing. We're not.
We haven't gone to 3rd and 4th. So I think
it's like a 0.5% chance we pick 3rd or 4th.
So it's either
8% chance we pick 1st or 2nd.
It's a 2. It's a pick number 2, pick number 5, pick number 6, and pick number 7. Those are the 4 picks, and we gotta hope at least 2. It's a coin flop. You see a coin flip? It's a coin flip. At this point in the game, we just gotta hope and pray and beg for our team to get back.
So here's some news. So as of yesterday, the guy who we were talking about, Sonny Meta,
has gone. See you later.
To New Jersey. Apparently, he was their top pick. New Jersey was most likely going to get them, and when they heard that the Leafs were getting an interview with him, they swooped in and they didn't waste time. He's raised in New Jersey, so you know what? That was his first choice.
He wanted to go home.
Apparently, Sundin is expected to be in Toronto to meet with Keith Pelly and the MLSE hiring team. Leafs are discussing a prominent role in hockey ops with no exact title attached at this point.
I think basically.
So that means they're interviewing anyone they possibly think they can.
I think it's just for goodwill of the fans because Sundin is loved by the kids.
Candidates that the Leafs have interviewed so far: Chris Pronger,
My God.
Brandon Pridham, I would be fine with, Mike Gillis, John Chayka, Ryan Bowness, and Ryan Hardy.
I swear to God, if they hire that failed owner, that failed GM
Why
in
can't they just
Arizona, John Chayka,
put Pridham?
my God, I'm stuck. Because now I think Mike Gillis is probably the best one available of them all. I don't like Mike. I think he has no success. He had no success in what was the Vancouver Canucks. And I think he's going to have that same struggle with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But hey, I'm willing to give anyone a chance. You know, whoever didn't win a Stanley Cup, come win a Stanley Cup with Toronto, please.
Young minds. Well, that's been it for this Leafs season, and this series, FLR 2025-2026, has come to a close. Unfortunate, sad close, as the Leafs do not find themselves in a playoff spot, with Buffalo and Boston playing each other, and Tampa and Montreal playing each other from the Atlantic Division. Buffalo makes the playoffs for the first time in, I don't even remember, and who knows what'll happen. We'll be continuing episodes, not FLRs, but we'll be discussing to see, because the Leafs should be hiring their hockey ops and GM in the next coming weeks, because decisions need to be made soon, because we need to be ready for free agency and for the draft, which
free
is going to come up soon.
is going to be boring because there's no free
literally
agents.
no names on the board anymore, so I don't know what the Leafs are going to do. Hopefully,
how are they going to get better?
They can figure out maybe some trades they can do. Yeah. Who knows? But that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. End of the Leafs season. Hopefully next year it's a better turnout, and we'll see you
on the next one. Peace.